Hi everyone, and welcome to today's show of Ask the Colorado Dream House Team. I'm your host, Dan Polimino, coming to you live from Denver, Colorado. And the weather today is a little dark and gloomy. We got a storm coming in, and with each and every day, you kind of feel like winter is just around the corner. So I hope you're hunkering down and getting ready. Well, wherever you are in the country, what we talk about here on the show every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays is real estate. How to buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And again, the information that we're giving you works anywhere in the country. It comes from thousands of transactions and years of experience. So take it and use it as you need it. But thanks for tuning in. As always, you can leave a comment right here on Facebook. You can email us at team@coloradodreamhouse.com, or you can give us a call at 720-446-6325. We'd love to help you, or we'd just be happy to answer any of your questions. Two things we like to cover every show. We want to give you a little market information, and we also want to answer your questions. So let's start with the market information. Halloween is next week, right? October 31st, and December 31st is just 2 months away, the end of the year. And if you haven't sold your house with 2 months to go, what do? Answer: bite the bullet. Probably make that price reduction that you have been holding off on. We've been having this conversation with a lot of our sellers. Now, listen, I'm not going to pretend that a price reduction is just the be-all, cure-all for selling your home. You may have more, powerful factors at play on why it's not selling. You might back to a busy road. You might back to train tracks or a power line, have a bad location issue. The house may be in really disrepair and doesn't show very well. There's a number of reasons why the house hasn't sold. However, in a lot of instances, price can overcome those obstacles, because there is a sweet spot, a price in which somebody will say to themselves, despite this or that, the house is priced so well that I can't pass it up. And so in that instance, price does cover a lot of ills. So if you've been holding off on the price reduction, do it now. And here's why. Because when November 1st comes along, a standard amount of time to close a transaction is 45 days these days with a loan, right? Loans usually are going 45 days. Sometimes they can be done in 30, but 45. So if somebody gives you a contract on November 1st, they're closing around December 15th, and nobody wants to close during Christmas. Right? You got to close before Christmas, which means you got to do the price reduction now to entice somebody to give you an offer the first week of November. Make the change now if you want to get your home sold before December 31st. Obviously, it goes without saying, as we get into the winter months here in Denver, sometimes it's more challenging to sell a home in January, February, or March, just depending on how much snow we get and how cold it is. So again, it may behoove you to get it sold before Christmas, and then for some people for tax purposes as well. Okay? That's the market information for today. Let's go to your questions. Dear Colorado Dream House Team, how much do I have to disclose about the sale of my house to potential buyers? Well, let me tell you, everything, right? If you really want to stay out of trouble, if you want to stay out of legal jeopardy, disclose, disclose, disclose. You can't really disclose too much. When you get that form, fill it out. Fill it out honestly. I hear people say all the time, it asked me if I got a roof leak. I don't have a roof leak, so I checked no. But then it asked, did you ever have a roof leak? And if you did at some point, even if you fixed it and it never leaked again, disclose, disclose, disclose. The number one lawsuit in real estate is when a seller failed to disclose information on their seller's property disclosure. Okay? Dear Colorado Dream House Team, what's the difference between assessed value and market value? Well, most of the time they're not the same. The assessed value comes from the county. They are giving you a value multiplied times a tax rate, and that's how they're coming up with your assessed value, or how much taxes you're going to owe on that property. In my case, my assessed value is considerably lower than my market value. My market value is determined by comparables of similar size and quality that have sold in my neighborhood. So don't get freaked out when the assessed value by the county is different from your market value. And in my case, if it's lower, you're happy because you're paying less taxes. All right? Dear Colorado Dream House team, I finished my basement, but I did not pull a permit. Will that cause a problem when I go to sell my home? You know, about half of the people don't pull a permit. I mean, you should. I know why some people do. They don't want to go through the cost. They don't want to go through the hassle. And they don't want the county knowing about the extra square footage, because if they did, they would tax you on that extra finished square feet. But if you didn't pull a permit, listen, there's nothing against the law that says you can't finish your basement on your own. If you're handy and you're capable, you can. However, it's probably a good idea to make sure that everything was done to code. And in that case, you might want to pull a permit. I would encourage you to do so. Now, if you're selling your house and you didn't pull a permit, you know, there'll be a buyer that may have a problem with that. He may want you to go back and have an inspector go through the house and check to make sure it was done to code. In most cases, again, you shouldn't have a problem selling the house. Obviously, the finished square feet is there, even though the county doesn't know about it. And it'll really come down to what you negotiate with the buyer and the seller. All right? Hope that helps. Real quick, a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, we told you about a new property we put on the market. If you're in Denver and you're on Colorado Boulevard and you know where the old Colorado Health Science Center was, they tore that old hospital down and that whole area is being redeveloped. And right next to there is this terrific penthouse. 955 Eudora St, unit 1804. It's the top floor. It's about 2,100 square feet, 2-bed, 3-bath, but the views are amazing. Absolutely to die for. You've got not one but 2 terraces looking in 2 different directions. So you've just got incredible views. We just had a $30,000 price reduction, so it's now priced to sell, all right, at $599. So check it out. 955 Eudora. Go to coloradodreamhouse.com/Eudora, and I think you'll like it. All right, well, that's it for this week. We're back again on Tuesday. Everybody have a great weekend.